The History of Textbooks, an EDFN presentation, brought to you by Sarah Kugel, Danielle Kunkel, Tara Lombard, Nick Macheski, and Tony Wen. If a good textbook was found, schools thought it appropriate to use it for hundreds of years. For example, Noah Webster's Elementary Spelling Book. In early textbooks, ideas were based on learning such universities as Harvard, with special emphasis on Latin and Greek. Values were taught through textbooks in the 18th century. For instance, McGuffey's Graded Readers in the 1830s and 40s placed emphasis on achievement and success through industry, sobriety, thrift, punctuality, and other essential virtues. Memorization and formal application were also required by early textbooks. Average Joes were often the authors of early textbooks, meaning many of them had no formal training. At that point, copyright laws had not been passed, and early authors presented anything thought to be of worth to the general public.
Since the Civil War, a fight for the rights of race minorities such as blacks, Asians, and American Indians, and religious minorities include Jews, Catholics, and Muslims. A change has occurred in effect with the subjects of textbooks. Another big example of changes in textbooks would be the perspective of women. Stereotypes were given as to which were the better gender, and through the early 20th century, it was concluded that boys were the good gender and girls were the bad. Textbooks continually needed updating due to the great number of historical events such as wars, new discoveries, and regimes. Also changed in order to avoid the use of propaganda. School boards chose textbooks keeping in mind the parents' reception to the literature at hand. In 1974, the U.S. Commissioner of Education strongly advised textbook publishers to print only materials that do not insult the values of most parents.
California, Texas, North Carolina, and Florida, being the biggest consumers of textbooks, have a bigger influence than other states on the content. These 4 states determine the content of textbooks that the rest of the 50 states use. The average price of a K-12 textbook in 2010 was $65, as compared to the approximately $20 a textbook cost just 30 years ago. There's a great increase in the price of textbooks, and the price increase is even greater since the textbooks need to be replaced more frequently than in the past. At the college level as well, textbooks are on an ever-rising cost, with the average price of upwards $1,000 spent per year on textbooks alone. This is almost triple what it was just 30 years ago. Textbooks are a lucrative industry. And the 4 major publishers of K-12 books are McGraw-Hill, Pearson, and Houghton Mifflin Court. They print over 85% of textbooks, effectively monopolizing the textbook publishing industry.
Each of the 4 major publishers of these textbooks are receiving healthy profits of between $4 billion and $8 billion per year. This is quite a large sum for something that is continually changing on almost a yearly basis. Big name publishers continue at the college level as well. The same companies are held responsible for printing many of the textbooks at the college level. These companies make a lot of money because college courses usually require the newest editions as new information is obtained. E-books newly include development of multimedia content that is linked directly to external systems such as assessment systems, homework management systems, and interactive worksheets. There's a movement towards e-textbooks. E-textbooks are known to be cheaper and can be updated regularly without having to purchase or make a new book entirely. This process can take up to a year or up to several years to maintain.
Average cost of paper textbooks are $175 per book. E-book, in comparison, costs only $27, an average of 52% cheaper than the regular books. Only 50% of students say they are comfortable using e-books. Backpack laws in California and Georgia say max weight of one textbook is 3 pounds in grades K through 4, 4 pounds for 5 through 8, and 5 pounds from grades 9 through 12. Results are concern for backpack-related injuries of elementary school kids due to heavy textbooks. In conclusion, change not only in content but also in format moved from paper textbooks to paperless, as well as stricter laws and guidelines as to content of the textbooks. Not only are textbooks an educational issue, parents and communities have said in textbooks it will continue to be a political issue. And these are the references that we used.